Hey everyone, welcome back to Carrots and Olives. My name is Brittany and today I am excited to do a currently inked. I haven't done that in a couple months and I actually cleaned out a lot of my pens. They were at the point of I couldn't really write with them, which was nice. It took me a couple months to get there. I do, however, still have some pens inked from a couple months ago, so still working on those, but let's go through them. I have a lot of pens inked up. I decided today was the day I was going to ink up some new pens. I was getting a little bit tired of some of the colors I was seeing and wanted something different, a different pen, that type of thing. So that's what prompted this, but I felt like I kind of have myself organized and that we could do some inking and writing. So I have two full cases. This is a rickshaw case, and then this is a Esterbrook cube case. And I don't know, let's just get started. I'm going to be doing my inking today in the Aerofoil notebook. I wish they came out with a really thick notebook of Aerofoil paper. If any of you know of anything like that, or any seller selling a huge, like a thick notebook of Aerofoil paper, please let me know. I would definitely look into getting one of those. I just love this paper. So and I don't have much of it, so I kind of just do this when I am really excited and have time to do it and use this paper. So I'm just going to zoom in a little. Have my little dashboard here, and today is March. I can't believe it's already March 16th, I believe. It is a little bit gloomy day today, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay, so my first pen flung out because I literally have too many pens inked up. So this is what we're looking at in this case, and therefore this is the pen we'll start with. This is also the pen that fell out, so some of the ink fell into the tip cap here, but I will clean that out. So this is a newly inked pen. You see how the ink kind of just sits on the paper? Really fun. Let's kind of angle you. So this is the TWSBI. Diamond 580. And this is the ALR. Can't remember if they say ALR or just AL. This is a fine. And this color is just like the black. The ALR has like the ridges here on the grip section, which can be good or bad depending on who you are. And then my ink is Diamine Buzz Fizz. And this is the Diamine Inkvent ink. I think it was from 2023. I had a follower just send me some inks that they wanted. They didn't want them. And this is the color in like a swatch on those cards. So I swatched this today. I only have a few swatches prepared But I'm actually really liking this. This is actually really pretty. It looks really nice on aerofil paper as well. And I wanted to just clean up that nib for a second. There's the first pen. Second pen is this guy. I think we all know who this is. My Franklin Christoph. So this ink is interesting. Oh no, I just inked it up, but there wasn't much left in the little container I had. It was like a super mini sample, probably a couple of mLs. So this is Franklin Christoph. And this is model 02. And I think this is like cracked ice, the barrel color. It's really pretty. And then I have one of their special medium nibs. So the ink I'm using is called Diamine Early Dust. Which is also from Inkvent. $2023. It's really pretty. I just didn't have a huge sample, so I had to kind of get it started a little bit for this video. Okay, so next, I think I'm going to keep all these the same. So next is an Esterbrook SD. And this one has an ink that I actually haven't used yet in a pen. So Esterbrook. I actually switched out the nib on this one with another one. So this is in a fine. And this is the blueberry body. Now the ink is Diamine Inkvent again, but different year. I think it was 2022. Blue Peppermint. I did buy a whole bottle of this because I heard really great things. I just think 2020 question mark, not sure what year that was. But it's a really nice dark blue turquoise. Leans a little bit on the lighter side of turquoise, but it's dark enough to where you can actually see the color. So this is a Hapula fountain pen from Atelier Lusso. I love this guy. This one just writes so well, and it has a nice feel when you hold it because it has some good weight to it. Now I have talked about this pen and did an unboxing in another video. So if you are wondering what this looks like in comparison in sizes, please check out that video. This is a medium. He does get his nibs engraved, so they also have his logo on the nib and on the finial. But I think the nibs are just like either a Bach or a Yovo, I want to say. Okay, so the ink I'm using is Colorverse. HST. And I really love how it looks in this pen. It almost reminds me of an Iroshizuku, like their turquoise ink. I can't remember the name at the top of my head right now, but it does remind me of an Iroshizuku ink, and the flow is just wonderful. Next is my Visconti Voyager. I really love this pen because of the body, the color. It's so cool. And this is actually a broad. Now the nibs are much to be desired. In my case, my nibs have come out not as great in both of my Viscontis. And I actually had a less expensive Visconti from like 6 years ago. I recently sold it within the past couple years, and so I vowed that I was never going to get another Visconti, but then I was like, well, maybe there are more expensive ones have a better writing experience. I would say not true. But I did like this one, and I felt like eventually when I get to a pen show, I can get the nib really tuned to my liking. That's why I did decide to get this. Plus, you get a really good ink fill because it's a vacuum filler. This ink is Diamine. Rainbow's End, which is also another ink vent from 2024. At least that's what I've been told for a majority of these. I'm sorry, 2023, not 2024. And this is actually really pretty. The broad doesn't feel so broad. It almost seems like more like a medium broad to me. So I still think it will do pretty well in my journals. So I do have this pen, which we've talked about before, and this is my Nagasawa pen style pen. It's still inked up. With the same ink. I feel like this Visconti Diamine Rainbow's End will be a perfect match for this pen barrel. I thought this ink was a perfect match, but now when I have them side by side, I could see this would be a great match as well. So this is in a medium. I just love the Nagasawa and the Platinums for just like their sturdy nibs. You just have so much control. And because I like to make sure my handwriting and my letters are neat, I like to have that control. So this is, again, the same ink, Wearing Goal. Wearing Goal Oscar Wilde. The Happy Prince. This ink also has some sparkle to it. And I think I only got a sample of this one. So I was thinking about buying another one, but I have so many inks. I do not need to buy any more inks. Although those Birmingham pen inks have been really calling my name lately. The next one, or the next few, are these guys. And if I kind of put them side by side, you will see that they're not from the same brand. So the colorful ones are Jinhao's, and the black one is my Platinum. I learned about these Jinhao's most recently when I was just watching YouTube, and I felt like I needed to get my hands on one because in the video they talked about how the pen is writing experience is very comparable. So these are called Jinhao 10s. You can get them from Amazon. They only come in 2 sizes, fine and medium. But my experience so far has been phenomenal. I love these pens. I have been writing with them nonstop for the past couple of weeks. This is like, people are calling this like a toffee or a coffee pen. I just call it like the brown ombre. They have some really fun colors, body colors, and it's really well priced. So this is just Diatramente's document ink because I've been using this so much in my planners and my work planner and also journaling that it's just been working for me, and I wanted something that's permanent. The fine is pretty fine. Actually, this one is a medium. And this ink is a combination of black and blue. I like mixed it. And I'm not going to put the brand name because I can't remember, but it's been working really well. None of mine have had hard starts unless I don't write with it for, I would say, at least like over a week. Then I can get hard starts, but that tends to happen to, I would say, half of my pens that I own anyway. So I think it also depends on the inks you're using. The ink for this one is the Leonardo blue. So those are the Jinhao's. This one is the Pilot, which is 8 times more than the Jinhao's. And I just re-inked this one. So this is, oh, of course, it's not Jinhao, it's Pilot. Pilot Vanishing Point. And this is actually an extra fine. So you can see the extra fine and the fine are not too far away from each other. So if you are someone who likes to write small or just prefer small nibs or like small size nibs. So this is the same ink that's in the Jinhao and the fine. This is my first like couple months with this ink. Over 10 years of like in love with black ink. It was mainly the platinum black, but the platinum, if it's in your pen too long, it can get like crusty, and you kind of have to use it, use the pen often to avoid it drying out. And it actually has ruined one of my cheaper, more inexpensive pens. So I used like a bottle and a half and then stepped away from it. And only this year did I finally decide to get the document ink from De Atramentis. I think what also prompted that is that I would have gotten it earlier had it not been sold out so much. Like, I guess it's that popular that it just will sell out really quickly, even on Amazon. So I wanted to get it at a good price, and I had to wait till it was available. And of the times that I watched for it to be available, it wasn't until this year. This is my Aurora. And I actually kind of want to get some work done on this one. This is the Aurora Artesia. I get it mixed up with Aurora and the Omas. Ogiva. This is Artesia, if I'm saying that right. This is in a medium. It's kind of a wide medium to me. And the ink is 3 oysters. Hunter's green. Or Hunter. Yeah, it's Hunter's with an S, I think. Hunter's green. It has some pretty good shading. I think on this paper, it leans a little bit darker than onto my River. And one of the things I want to do is actually get the nib ground to like a specialty nib. And I can only do that when I get myself out of the house and to a show. Next is this lovely one that I did get this year recently. It still has the same ink in it. It's been over a month and a half, and it writes like flawlessly. This is the Leonardo. Memento 0 in an extra fine nib. And that's not really, it's pretty close to the extra fine Pilot nib. The ink here is actually Tom Studio. So same ink. Number 17 Damson. It's a dark purple. It almost looks black here. But if you watch the video of when I unboxed it, and I think I inked it up in that video, you will see what I mean. So these are like the first pens here. Whoops. The first set of pens. Obviously, I cannot zip this up. Let's back out just a little bit. So I had some of these pens hanging off in my other bag. I'll put those back. And then because these are my Jin Haos and they are rather inexpensive, I put them here. And I did have this one there like that, but it fell out. So whoa. Let's just put you guys right where you belong over here. Okay, zip them up, and let's move on to the next lot. So, pens. I'm not quite sure why I feel comfortable having the pens open on the left side, but that's just kind of what I selected. So let's get started with this lot. Lamy 2000. This one is still inked up. Had it inked up for, let's say, a month now. I don't really use it, and I'm kind of thinking I am going to clean it out and let it rest. This is in a medium. And this ink is Warringal. It's a little too light for me. Oscar. It has really good shading. Oscar Wilde, The Picture of Dorian Gray. Yeah, it's a little too light for me, especially on Tomoe River paper. I think I did get a full bottle of this one, so it just means I will have to kind of mix some inks together to make it work better for me. My next pen is holding one of my favorite inks. So Omas. This pen writes so well too. Ojiva. And this is it this? I'm trying to think, is this a fine? I think this is a fine. This pen also has some weight in the back. It just makes it really comfortable to hold. Now the ink I inked this up with was a sample, and I pretty much used the whole sample to fill this pen. So this is the Teranishi guitar. Gentle green. And this ink is really cool because when you first write with it, it comes out blue in Tomoe River paper, and then it dries into green, and it's really fun. Of course, this beautiful amber barrel. So this is the Pilot. Custom 823, and this is in the fine, and this is the amber barrel. So I have both the amber and the black. This ink is actually the Tom Studio I don't know what they call it, like dark black or something. This ink kind of leans more blue to me than black when it's on Tomoe River paper and it's in like a thicker nib. It still works. And actually I haven't used this pen in like probably a week and a half, and it still writes. No issues there. And this ink is meant to be water resistant. So I have 3 more pens. They are housing inks that I can't remember what I put in them, but we could still do them. So this is the Sailor Riallo, Sailor Pro Gear Riallo. And this is a medium. And it's a green ink. Can't remember the brand. It has really good shading and it performs really well in this pen. Have a green pen. This is platinum. Century. 3776. I think I got this in the broad. So smooth. Again, I think that this is the Van Diemen's ink. Van Diemen's. One of my green inks, but I can't remember the exact name. However, it writes well. I really love platinums in their broads and in their mediums. This is another Nagasawa. And this is actually very fine. Nagasawa pen style. And I think that this one is, yes, this is a fine. So, of course, it's super fine. And this ink, it's like a gray brown. Honestly, I think it's Lennon Toolbar. Silky. And it's almost like the gray I wish that the Waringal Oscar Wilde looked like. I know if I had this Waringal Oscar Wilde in a fine nib that was this thin, it would not perform the same. It would probably be too light to even read. Okay, last but not least is my Leonardo. Leonardo Momento 0. And this is a fine. You can see the difference between this fine and the one above it. And this is some blue ink. I cannot remember. Blue, I don't know, but it writes so good. It's super smooth and like slick on paper with this ink. That completes the rest of my pens here. So I actually have more than 6 pens. I have 7 pens in here. That Lamy seems to fit right in this corner. Actually, and I have a couple more pens in the front. It kind of sits up like this. I did do a video of the cube in my previous like 2 videos ago. So I have a couple swatches. So this is Diamine Early Dust Ink Vent 2023. And then this one, this is that beautiful Karanishi guitar gentle green color. And then this one is the Rainbow's End. Kind of looks a little like purpley, blue purpley. It has some glitter shimmer in there. So those are ones I inked up today because they came in the little bottles and I kind of wanted to like start using them and kind of get them out the house, like empty them and get like all those ones that aren't actual bottles, start using them and start getting rid of the containers just because it's taking up a lot of space. So I hope you guys like this video. Let me know if you want to see anything else in particular. Oh my gosh, I forgot the star of the show. It's sitting here right in front of me. And this is her. This is her. This is the most expensive pen I own now. It is the Montblanc, and it is Montblanc 149. But this one is the one that has, is it the cursive nib? So look at that. I just re-inked it because I've been struggling a bit trying to find the best ink for this pen. It's just so juicy. And as I move the pen around, because it has an angled tip, it's so fun to play with. This is Jacques Herbin Blue Ocean. And the interesting thing about why it's been so difficult for me to find the perfect ink is because the inks don't look the same because this nib is so big. It almost seems like inks that I thought would be dark are less dark. So that's why I've been struggling to find an ink that's like dark enough to where I could see it, because some of the inks that were a little bit more lighter and I put it in there, they become even more lighter, and it's something I just can't read very well. So it's just hasn't been a good fit for it. But seems like this ocean blue will be working really well for now. So let me know if you have any questions. I have a lot of pens inked up, but it's fun. So we'll see how long it takes me to get through most of these. And until next time.